There's a beautiful day headed your way. Keep your head up, you'll be okay. A beautiful day waiting for you. Just open your eyes, you'll see it's true. Good times, sunshine, gonna be here in no time now. Bad times, gray skies, push them all away, turn them upside down. You're gonna break new ground, turn everything around. You're gonna live your life. There's a beautiful day headed your way. Keep your head up, you'll be okay. Beautiful day waiting for you. Just open your eyes, you'll see it's true. A beautiful day.
Welcome back to the Booga Box live stream. It's Thursday night, Large Project Thursday. Working on our Chris Jones inlay. So that's what we're going to work on tonight. Hope everybody's having a good week. Don't forget to give the likes, thumbs up, shares, all that good stuff. And don't forget you can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Make sure I get all those things out there. But yeah, I do want to thank everybody who does watch us live, or if you watch us later. I know we have a little group of people that pop in from time to time. Other people watch us a little bit later. So, and I have my other cards put up when I repack my stuff. I talked about it the other night. These are the little business cards. They're little aluminum cards. This is one. This is one that I made up for actually. I guess I'm over on this camera now. For my cheese flag that Vicky bought a while back. It was my first, well, it wasn't the first one. It was one I had. I didn't like when I went to punch my hole in it. Kind of crinkled it up, so I made her another one for her item. But like I said, you can put your logo on the front. You can put details on the back of everything. They're neat little things. I got them in multiple colors too, so keep that in mind. I've thought about doing my own business cards. They're about the same size as a business card, roughly. Not exact, but pretty close. But I wanted to show that. I had that sitting out because I keep it up here on my thing. Since I no longer have the flag, I like to keep my little thing for it. So, alright, let's get things turned up and on and over and all that good stuff. Get over here into doing some mailing. Oh yeah. I gotta get off the ugly old face cam. Over the top cam. Kind of have it kind of stretched. Not a full one, but I did get a little bit of time in it today. Not as much as I, again, would have hoped. And then I had about a 40-minute fixing period. So that took away from at least another line. Because I was shifted way bad out. And nothing that it was going to be an easy fix. I had about 80 rings to pull out and replace. So that was not fun. I had 3 lines go well on me, and I kind of left my double checking away, and yeah, you know what happens when that happens. So we'll get back into it. I think we're line 47. I think we were 43 last night. Finished up 43. I'm not quite sure. Like I said, I only got a bunch of 10-20 minute sessions in on this today. 10-15 minutes. One time I thought I was getting ready to go to 20 minutes, and then what was it that something happened outside and made me have to get up. But I got a little bit in. I'm hoping I'll get more in. I don't have any plans for having to move this out of the way for anything for this weekend. I did spend a little bit of time this morning though, getting some more kits made up. So I've got several kits ready to go, and we'll see how they go. Keep getting a few every day, so that's good. If you've bought a kit, definitely make sure you post some pictures when you're done. Let people know. Like I said, I'm always a little weird on I want to post it out there, but I want to post it the right way so I don't get in trouble. I know there are people that were wanting it. and some others that might want it and not know it's out there. So if you got one and you're making one, get pictures posted for me. Plus, I just want to see other people do it. Make sure it's not in my crazy head working right. So yeah, I did that today. Got a little bit of this done. Got the laundry caught back up. I think I had 3.5 inch loads. It's not too much, but that's just general house stuff. Kids wash their own clothes. So basically, I just got to wash mine, the wife's, and then general house towels and wash rags, all that good stuff in the kitchen, bathroom. But I got most of that caught back up. I only got my shirt washed. I have 3 different of these type shirts. I got a blue one that's like this, but it's a one size smaller. It fits okay, but I like the big red one. I feel more comfortable in this one. And then I bought a t-shirt. The t-shirt was just way too small. Yeah, I don't think it'll ever fit me, but I figure one day I can give it to one of the grandkids. If they ever come and get into chainmail and want to help me out, I'm hoping as they get older I can kind of wean them into doing some chainmail. I know the daughter was kind of into it for a little bit, but she kind of, she got busy. High school started coming in after I'd been doing this for a little while, and well, as a business anyway. Like I said, I'd done this for many years before that. But it was just crap wire, 4 different basic weaves, and it really wasn't, I wasn't making jewelry or anything. Most of the time whenever I went to do it was to make a chain to hold my shovel, or just little things to hold this or that, or little tie-ups or something, And then a lot of the stuff that I did do was out of super soft, like copper wire. Yeah, it was fine. I could curl it up. I could cut it. I could make something out of it. But, it's so soft when you put it down, it didn't take much to bend it. So that was kind of the stuff I just threw away over time. Never really took it. Well, I had some pictures, and that's what it's like. I've talked about this a couple different times through the years. I had a hard drive crash on me, and I lost all kinds of pictures from... it was right before we moved in here was the first hard drive crash I had. So it was about 18 years ago, probably 19, 20 years ago when it happened. And all the pictures I had, and a lot of those pictures were scanned of other pictures, because we didn't have digital cameras really back then. Although you did, but they were crap quality compared to what's now out there. So I lost a lot of those, lost a lot of pictures that way. I've had a few minor crashes since then, but most of the time I have good backups anymore. But there's always, no matter what you do, you always end up losing a little something. A little something from something. But that's why now I don't necessarily use the cloud, but I do have backups on backups anymore. Most of the time, at least 2 backups along with the original. I've got a group of manually backed up stuff I do, and then I have the stuff that's automatically daily backed up. But this weekend, I'm hoping, actually, right now the weather just changed about 6:30, about just a little after that, actually, closer near 7. Wind didn't really change directions, but it picked up and the temperature dropped. Got a little more cloudy, and today was like 81. Tomorrow's supposed to be like 60, 59 as a high. So it's going to be kind of, for me, that's good weather for me. I'm hoping I can get out and get some lawn work done. There's a couple spots I really want to get taken care of. I need to do a lot more, but I'm hoping I can get a couple hours in on that tomorrow. A couple hours of laser work. I'm actually working on a few things that I didn't get done before our last event. Some necklace holders. because I've got some single ones. I can put 2 of them on it, and then they have the other ones that have the little slats coming in, so you can put several on it or skip a row, you know. So I'm going to kind of mix those two, and I'm going to cut my own out of wood and stain them up, and laser etch the Booga box into it. Most of it's going to be covered kind of with necklaces, but then I'm hoping to, once I have my design down and what I like for holding them, I'm going to work on making a type of case holder in a way that I can slide these down into with their necklaces on, and it'll be in just like a little padded slide box so that it, you know, I can just take it off the grid wall and slide it in the box and be done. That's one of the hardest things, I think, and that's with necklaces. Displaying, if you have a lot, they get tangled up if you try to put them in things, so they have to be separated, so it takes a while on pack up time. It takes a while on setup time when you got to pull them out of everything and untangle them if they're tangled. That's why a lot of the times here lately I've been putting things in baggies and hanging them on my spinners. But I noticed, you know, you don't get as much look-see at that, you know, and I think some people think sometimes the stuff in my booth is not handmade because it's packaged. I have it in, you know, and I kind of get that in a way, but I do it, one, to keep it protected over time, so, you know, it doesn't get dingy or anything, dusty and whatnot. 2, so they don't get tangled up on themselves. But so I'm going to try to put a group of them that are still packaged up, but another group that are hanging that I can easily transport. Again, something that this last setup was definitely a little bit better, I think. I just want to start making little improvements to help with setup time, takedown time. I'm working on these. I think I have one sitting over here. Do I? No, it's further over there. 3D printer is actually printing them up right now for my grid wall. I don't know if anybody uses grid walls, but somebody had come up with a design I found on Thingiverse for grid walls, and they're little like clips that go around and hold 2 grid walls together and slide down. So it's holding them sideways, and then you push them down on the bars and it holds it that way. Really kind of cool thing. I got a couple of them done before our last event, but I didn't get a full time to really test them all out. Once we got it set up, I had one go on. It worked out okay. Second one was a little tighter, and when I was playing with them, I was like, I should have opened up the tolerances just a bit. I didn't want them to be like the main focus, but if you've ever messed with grid walls, you know you can either use the little metal clips they come with, you can use Velcro, or zip ties. And they all have their plus and minuses. And so I'm wanting something that'll be faster than screwing all those little metal things in. They help and hold it good. If you're on an unlevel ground, you can kind of tilt one up and the other and tighten it up good. Even though the sidebars aren't together, they're at least tight and level. So your grid balls aren't going down at an angle, and all your hooks will slide to the next little 3-inch square. So, and since we got back, I didn't necessarily redesign it, but I kind of changed the tolerances in it. So hopefully they'll be a little bit looser. It'll be something I can quickly gun through, do some Velcro real quick, and be done. Because those little metal clips can take forever putting them together and taking it apart. So I think it'll work even better on the inside than it does when you're in an outdoor event. We'll find that out here soon. But yeah, I'm printing up a bunch of those. I think I got my tolerances right now. I've got one set that I did. Seemed to be okay. We're gonna do another one, and then I'm probably gonna end up pulling the grid walls out and putting it together inside. Put it together like 3 of them, maybe 4 of them, and then test it outside on grass and where it's a little more level, and see how they kind of pop together. Hopefully they'll be okay. They take a while to print, I will say that, but I'm going 100% infill, so they're just solid chunks of stuff when they're done. Using a little bit of material in that process, but again, I want something dirty, solid. I did break one at the event, but I was actually hammering it really good, and I don't think, even if it would have been a plastic thing that was made for them, kinda, the way I was hitting it, it was bound to break. I mean, no piece of little plastic thing is going to kind of hold up to the way I was pounding on it. So I think the daughter actually said, I was kind of surprised it held up as long as it did with the way you were pounding on that thing. So that was a good sign. Now I just need to make sure I get a good fit. Like I said, I don't want them to be super snug. That's what I got right now. They're just I can get them on there, but they're just a little too much. Two of those, right? Yeah. And then the whole set actually came with a couple different varieties. A corner piece. The only thing that sucked is I had to take that file and put it through the CAD program and get rid of, well, not get rid of, split it into its individual files. So, because I didn't want to print them all at once, I wanted one block, testing once that block worked, multiply it out, do a block, print out like 6 at a time. Probably take a little over a day for that one, because the single one is taking me 6 hours to be solid like I have it. So I mean, a 6-pack's going to take more than a day. But I'm going to do a couple of those. I think, again, if they work well and on the inside, I think they're going to work good. So hopefully things will go on that front. And I have an idea about my, I like my spinners that I currently have. They've got, their downside is they're kind of bulky and they're freaking heavy. They are hard to move. Like I said, that's why I actually moved them down from 4 sides and 3 sides, because they were just heavy. And I have a thought, but I have no idea if it's going to work or not. So over the next couple weeks, I'm probably going to get me, well, I have some, I don't know if I'll need more, give me some foam board. I'm going to do some cutting out, testing, and whatnot, and see if the idea will work or not. If so, it would be kind of cool. It'll be a little bit smaller overall, so I'll be losing a little bit of space in a way. But I think in the long run, it'll be better for transportation, storage, a couple other things. Downside, I know I've already figured out a couple downsides, but like I said, sometimes, the upsides outweigh the downside. So that's something a little further off, though. I want to get these other ideas done with the necklace holders to put on that one, on my other corner piece area, so I can put more up there. Again, like I said, and something that'll be quick and easy to put up. Probably take a little while to come up with it, especially how I'm going to mount it in a box. If I can mount it in a box after I've come up with the full sizing of everything. Like I said, I might actually use a little bit of foam board for that too, to test before I do a final full run. Because if it works out well, I need something. I want 6 of them, and I'll need something that can hold 6 of them for transport. Fairly thinnish, so in a way it shouldn't be too bad. But sometimes you just don't know till you actually get into it. Kind of like the chainmail here. Some things work, some things don't. Some things take a little bit extra beating to get into working right. I might get out some more champagne. Cleaned up some other rings today, but I didn't pull up another. And I think I'm going to end up running into some more, using a lot of champagne coming up here. Well, we're coming into anyway. Coming into the upper area right under the nose, the mustache, upper lip area, it looks like. And actually, too, I think it's going to be the next line. Next line after we finish it will be our halfway point. It's 96 rows, and so 48's halfway point, and we're on 47, so So it's getting there. Again, slowly, but other things have been taking priority. Though, like I said, Monday, we're probably going to end up starting working on some more ties. I want to do some, I need at least, I think, 3 large scale ties is what I want to do, or 3 extra large scale ties, and at least 2 or 3 large scale ties. I sold the last one of those I had, so I've got some ties I need to get made up before Christmas events. We did a few Monday nights on making some before, but if they're selling, I need to make them up. Might as well make them up. Need something to do, and they can take a few. And again, I always try not to do my medium projects outside of stream, but I guarantee you those will be worked on outside of the stream too, just to get them done. We'll see, because I might even do more. Thinking about doing one of each color, and I think I got 6 or 7 colors in the extra large. And then I thought about maybe doing 2 of them with some stripes in them. I've actually made up 2 in purple and green before for the Joker. And a couple people that were into Harlequin and new Joker, so I made up some Harlequin stuff and a Joker tie. And then like I said, I've done 2 Joker ties now. So I might do another one. It seemed to be kind of popular for some reason. I don't know. An odd coloring for me, but whatever people like. My daughter, last time we worked on ties, I made her up some graphic, basically scam on graph paper with the amount of scales needed to make a tie, and she just used colored pencils and shaded it in different colors for me, and I got quite a few designs, and I actually have about 3 or 4 in small scales, but I have to figure out why. For some reason, whenever I'm doing a small scale tie, it curls up, and if you're in a chainmail, they have the chainmail tails. It kind of wants to do that, where it wants to curl up almost into a circle. I'm using the correct size rings. I don't understand what I'm doing that wants it curl up. I can't get it to lay flat enough. I can get it to lay flat on the table, but as soon as you pick it up and you want to wear it, it just gets too much of a curl to it. And so I haven't put out any small ties. I got to figure out what's up with that. I've got 2 partially made ones. One's about a little over 3/4. The other one's about halfway. Each of them I did a little bit differently, but I'm still getting the curl in it. So that I still need to figure out. Then I can do those styles too. Now, though I didn't sell any of the bow ties, I've got 4 bow ties, 5 bow ties, a couple of flats, bow tie shaped, and then a couple that are actually in a bow tie form where they're folded. A lot of interest in them, but nobody bought any of those at the last event. I'm getting a little warm over here. Should have turned on the fan. I hadn't needed it most of the day. Like I said, I haven't sat long enough where if I started getting warm anywhere. Just get up. Well, plus I got the hat on. I haven't worn the hat all day. I have to have the wife put my hair back up. Actually, I need her to give me a quick trim. Get the undergrowth all taken care of. It's been almost 2 months since I've gotten the undergrowth. That'll always cool me down a little bit. But I am kind of digging the beard in the winter. I'm getting ready to come up on winter. Last winter I kind of liked it. It kept me warm. It's kind of like the winter before that. I hate the mask, but wearing the mask was actually nice during the winter. It kept me warmer. Until you got into wherever you wanted to go. So it should only be about 24. Well, a lot more jibber jabber in here, but Like I said, if anybody ever has any thoughts or ideas you'd like to see us do on the stream too, I'm always open. I want to do something a little weird, maybe a little different. The reason lately we've only been going with the hour of streaming. After an hour of working, mail, my hands are pretty tired. If I had found something to do, like at a halfway point, we could do something and that would actually be able to go, and we could go for an hour and a half. I'd like to do an hour and a half. That's what I planned on originally, but there for a while I got shrunk down to an hour just because I was so busy doing other stuff. Now that's kind of opening back up, so I could go longer. My hands could go longer. It's about like my hip back. I don't know what's up with that. Like I said, it didn't start till this last event. And ever since then, boy, I just keep, after I'm up for a while, it just starts kind of killing me. Old age, get you every time, I guess. And then my dad would talk about that the other day when he called him birthday. After we streamed Monday night, he called, chatted for about an hour. It's kind of funny though, when he called, I was upstairs. Luckily, I took my phone with me. Normally don't take my phone with me, but he had texted before the stream, and I let him know I was going to be streaming, blah, blah, blah. So he'd call afterwards, so I had it with me. And this is actually the first time, I guess, that the wife and daughter had heard my dad's ringtone. I've had this ringtone. I got it back in the old flip phone days. Man, I mean, it's seriously a 25-year-old ringtone probably now. Oh, man. Answer the dang phone. Pick up the phone or I'm coming over there and whipping your bleep. Yeah, it cracks me up. I've used it forever. But that was the first time they actually ever heard it. Like, most times phones down here, so they would never hear it ring anyway. And they were just laughing their butt off, so I'd let it ring longer so I'd get through almost the whole thing before going to messaging. And so I'm laughing my butt off because they're laughing their butts off just watching them. So I'm answering the phone with my dad laughing. He's like, what's going on? I was like, I told you before about my ringtone. And I don't think he's actually ever heard it either. And so I was like, yeah, finally got the phone, or they finally heard your ringtone for you. And they were just cracking up laughing. Like I said, I found it many, many, many moons ago. Old flip phone days. Is it? No, that wasn't one. There were several that I still use. Most of them I still use all the same ringtones since forever. I just transfer them over, but I used to just make my own clips from different things for them. That was one I think I found as a full clip. And then one for the wife. I actually have two. There's the warning. The wife is calling. Warning. The wife is calling. And then another one, and that one I think I bought back in the old 99-cent phone ringtones back in the day back when it was weird before all you people with these newfangled stuffs. And I don't have any kind of iPod or anything, plays music like everybody did, but yeah, it was before those days too. Back when, again, you had to pay to text. It was, 20 cents per text or whatever, I don't even know what it was. I never had a texting plan actually till about 8 years ago. When I had the business and I had to start using a smartphone, I had to get rid of my old flip phone, which I was still using till then, because I needed something I could process payments on. So, yeah, if it wasn't for that, I'd honestly probably still have my flip phone if I possibly could. I don't know how many different batteries I bought through the years when I did have that phone. At the time, I think it was probably, when I finally changed phones, I think that phone was probably at least 10 years old. I think I replaced the battery 3 times in it. I love that thing. That thing went through. I could drop it. I could practically throw it, and it would just ring. I actually still do have it. I think. I had a box of electronics over there. I don't remember on our last trip if we took it in that group or not. There's a recycling place down here in town that will take old electronics and whatnot. And I'm always having old computer parts and stuff from people giving me old computers to fix up, or they couldn't figure it out, or whatever. So every 2 or 3 years, I normally do a cleanup of my computer working area and take any old stuff down for that. Alright, time to count some more. Almost done. Hopefully we'll end right real quick. I should probably check. Why? Do I not see? Oh, there it is. Okay. So there. Ones through pink. I believe it's right. I keep saying I believe it's right, but man, when I screwed up that last row, like I said, that kind of puts a little scare in you when that happens. That one's going through the red, so we're good there. Pink comes up through there, we're good there. Next pink comes up, good. Next pink comes up, good. Next pink comes up, good. Okay. Alright. Should have went that way the first time. So yeah, we're probably halfway now. Yeah, we're at 30 minutes, so I do want to thank everybody again for dropping in, checking us out, watching us. If you're watching us live, I do appreciate it. Don't forget to give thumbs up, like, share, all that stuff. Let people know we're out here. The more of those I get, the more they show up on other people's walls that follow us. I know a lot of people don't get a lot unless they've come and interacted with our pages. So if you're watching and you haven't been to our page in a while, go over there, check it out. Scroll through, check out some of the new pictures. Your chain mailer, we just released the wormhole cube. Check it out. I actually have my 4-inch dream catchers up on tutorials using square wire. It's kind of a neat build, and it's a little different build than what you would normally do with the dream catcher. So you might want to check that out too. So, alrighty. Like I said, I do thank everybody. Do this just kind of fart around and have some fun. It kind of originally started when I was working on Vicky's Chiefs flag, and after that point, at that point we were just kind of, I was streaming whenever I was working on it, kind of here and there. I didn't have any set times, and it kind of grew from there and kind of became what we're doing today. And I kind of liked it. Like I've said it before, it's kind of something I'm doing to let people know that I'm active, because there for the longest time there would be sometimes a couple months between posts if we weren't doing events that I wasn't making posts on Facebook, and I'm like, but I'm always doing stuff, I've said it before, and I'll say it again, that I just got kind of bummed about posting the same weave over and over again. Okay, this time I might have changed up its color. We got a stainless steel, obviously you couldn't do that. So I got a little tired of posting the same things over and over again. But then it looked like I was not doing anything because the page wasn't active. So the stream actually works as twofold. It keeps me kind of busy, lets me interact with anybody if there are people around. A little bit of therapeutic too. I get to talk to myself. So that's how it kind of all started. And after I got done with that, it was like, well, I kind of want to keep it going. I'm kind of having fun. So then we set up days, and since then we've kind of gone with our little setup. And we're well over a year now. If you're kind of new to our stream, if you're watching, we did our kind of year anniversary a little while back, so we're probably a year and 6 months into it now. Having fun, but like I said, I'm always willing to try something new. If anybody has any thoughts, ideas, something, do something different during the stream. Should I change it up? Do you like me working on one project for the whole night? I mean, many things that could be changed if there's enough people that say, hey, let's try something. I'd like to try to figure out a way where, like a Zoom, but we could stream a Zoom type meeting where we could get a few mailers together, 2 or 3. I know Sean has talked about it over at Mailworks. Tara has talked about it before, about doing some like interviews with chain mailers, which would be a neat thing to do. Maybe you just get a group of like 2 or 3 that are all willing to do a little get together where we just kind of chat, work on some chainmail, do what we normally do on a normal stream night, but have a few people where you can bounce things off of other people. That's why I always like watching other chainmailer streams and videos. You never know what you'll hear or see that might spark something in your brain. I know there's a few little techniques that I've learned through the years from just listening to somebody talk about something they're doing, something they picked up, and something that's casual to them. They don't think it's a big thing, but you might pick something up like that. Like I said, I've done that a few times myself. I think there's a few things that I do on a few weaves are definitely different than others, and I like to do it. I don't know if anybody else would like it that way, but and hopefully again here over the next few weeks, I'm hoping I'm gonna actually start spending a little bit more time doing some lack of a better word, some R&D per se. I've got a few things that I've been wanting to try in my head. I have no idea if they'll work. I don't even know if it would be a new weave or not. That's the biggest thing I have whenever I'm trying to think of something new, and why I normally lean towards the ornamental side with like the wormhole cube, wall hangings, and stuff like that. Just because on that kind of thing, it's very doubtful you're going to run across doing something that somebody's got out there. When it comes to a normal bracelet or something weave, there's so many out there, and so many people have done so many through the years. I've had 2 I know for sure that I actually thought was a new design. I was looking while I was doing it, and then I actually started going through and writing a tutorial for it. And still couldn't find it anywhere while I was still looking and all that, and it wasn't until I was about done with the tutorial and come to find out it was somebody else had already done it like 12 years ago and was still out there selling it. So it was like, oh, okay, well, yeah, it's not something a lot of people had posted a lot of, so that's what kind of sucks in a way. I wanted to put it out there, but I'm also afraid sometimes to put stuff out there with some of the stuff I've done, because you never know if somebody's going to make a quick copy of it and do their own thing, and then before you know it, they're blaming you for taking their design when it really wasn't to begin with, type thing. It's going to happen in everything, but so if I could give it all away for free, I'd really like to, and I do a lot for free too. But you have to have your limit if you want to keep going and keep doing it. I mean, you got to be able to have an income from it. If you you want to start thinking of doing other things, you got to be able to buy the stuff to come up with those ideas. So that's always the biggest thing. It's the time and the money to do the ideas that I have in my brain. There are so many things I have, and I think a lot, and I'll try to do practical tests, but there's really no way of fully knowing until you actually get things. So, all right, well, there's row 47. Move this page away. Page 5 of 10, so pretty much at halfway. Like I said, this will be the halfway row, 48. Probably won't finish it up on stream. Where we at? We still got 20 minutes, so we'll get some of it done. But definitely not all of it. Alright, paper right. Start getting us out some rings here. The long county time. Putting a little group out here because I know I'm a lot of back and forth on a few 3 or 4 colors here for a little bit, but I definitely have a lot less background right now since we're into the mid-head. I've got the ears on both sides that are kind of taking up room now, and so there's not a whole lot of the outside background going on right now on each one of these sides. And well, I guess I don't know what camera I'm on. I guess I'm on a camera that'll see me now. Getting all these put out here. Like I said, alright, this is the worst part about doing it, and then making sure you get the right counts. One day robots will do it for us. Just, I mean, like, there are already some out there that can actually do a few weaves, so they're already trying to make us chainmailers obsolete as is. Worn one's been easy to do for a while, and there's some machine-made Byzantine out there now. It's like you're taking away what we have to do by hand. In a way, it's neat, but taking away the creativeness, kind of what we do. Guys out here probably won't need that much now. Black ice has been a lot of double stucks, triple stucks here lately. Last couple bags have been really bad. Must have had to get a little extra stretch for anodizing, so it didn't quite close up tight afterwards. I think, again, that's one reason why I think anodized rings, from my understanding, it's the plain aluminum, and actually they use a stripper type thing to make it clean that actually dissolves away some of the outside layers, so it actually becomes thinner and smaller before they anodize it, because the anodizer will build up on the outside, which, so when you think about it right off the bat, you're thinking the rings are going to be bigger and tighter. But then you also put the stretch in with the electricity. It seems like they're always a little bit bigger and looser. Their ARs are just slightly bigger. And at first, it took me a while to wrap my head around that. I just kept thinking the anodized ring should be tighter, not looser. Because everything I was doing early on, when I started working in anodized aluminum, kept getting looser, and I'm like, this doesn't make sense. You're putting a coating on. Everything should be tighter, not looser. And then I've noticed, when you put it up on a stretch, how long was it on their stretch? They make these little racks to do aluminum coils. They stretch them on these racks to anodize them. At least most of them do. And so, does that stretch, the longer it's on there, kind of, you get a spring back. You're going to have some little tweaking to it. When you pull that out, it kind of wants to uncoil a bit. So when you let go, it kind of comes back together like a spring, but you're losing a little bit there. Like I said, it took me a while. I've done a lot of reading from a lot of different people. And then I came across a lot of different people arguing because both of those make sense. You're building up. It's not how can you get that way, but at least that's the camp I've gone to. There's still going to be people that'll argue both sides of it. I understand both sides kind of, but in my way. I swear these new black ice that I got have just a slight greenish tinge to them. Normally it's a little purplish. These have just a slight green kind of look to it in my head anyway. Alright, get those out of the way. Another row. I love doing inlays, but they are so time consuming. Though I've already planned. I don't know. I'm not going to talk about that plan yet because it's a little ambitious in a way. Something I was just thinking of the other day that I really want to do now. But I'm like, I wanted to jump the gun. I was ready to do some things already today. I made some orders today. When I got me 500 stainless steel and 300 and some odd, the full color palette of Jennifer's scales coming. I ordered those today, but yeah, I've got this idea I want to do. It's kind of inlay based, kind of mostly inlay based, but I don't know how long it's going to take. That's why, like I said, I need to step back for a second before I really talk about it too much and see if it's going to be something that I can feasibly do in a way that is just going to be workable money-wise. And again, it's something I don't know if I'd necessarily be able to sell. Sometimes when I make stuff, it's like, this isn't something that I could probably just make and expect to sell. It might eventually. It's kind of like the jersey and the inlays now I'm doing. I mean, I don't expect them to sell immediately, if ever, per se. I am doing them more for the fun of it. Plus, it just shows off. It sounds so bad, it shows off. But I mean, you do want to showcase your stuff at an event, so you have to have those pieces that are going to draw them in. Those pieces that are like, ooh, look at that, I've got to see it. In their head they're like, no way I'd be able to buy it, but that's cool, And that might make them look at, something smaller. So they are kind of, like I said, statement pieces, I guess, kind of. It's, hey, looky. And that's always my hard thing, is saying, hey, looky at me. I feel so narcissistic when I do that. Look at me. I don't like that. It's normally, look away from me. Look the other way. Turn around. Nothing to see here. A few years ago, I had another band parent that took a picture of me while I was helping out the band. It was like, I don't like this. I know I'm taking pictures, so I really can't say no, I don't want my picture taking when I'm sitting here taking hundreds of pictures and video and all that. But it's still one of those things that's like, feels weird. I don't like pictures of myself. Never really have. That's why I've got the ugly old face cam sitting over here. I gotta take a picture of this or a screenshot or something. Show you my scene for whenever I'm in the main viewer. Is the ugly face cam stream, top cam stream, and the front cam stream. So depending on which camera I have as the main, and so that's how I have them listed. Is it that late? My music stopped. It normally does that after it's been a little while, not this long. Normally it gives me an hour, I guess, but I guess we're 10 minutes away from an hour, and it started up a little early, so I guess it's on me. Again, it only happens, I've noticed when YouTube will start doing this, and pausing because I'm not there. It seems like most of the time my stream is going to work well on my laptop that I can watch. When I start having problems and it doesn't pause the YouTube, I don't necessarily find that out till after my stream because it takes an hour to get to that point. But when it doesn't do that, and you know, I'll come back after stream because going upstairs doing the cats or something, the music's still playing 2 hours later, I knew that there was an issue going on. A little coffee cough. I don't like that. It's nothing too bad. I'll get that this time of the year, but I think the daughter is, for the most part, over hers that she's had. Son's still a little off, but I haven't talked to him. Really, the past couple days just have been so busy again. Well, almost a week, I guess, because I was getting ready last week, Thursday, packing up. And wasn't here Friday, Saturday. Sunday, busy Chiefs game. Monday, streaming. Getting the tutorial and kits done and going. Tuesday, packing, shipping. So, like I said, I got a little time yesterday. I did take off a little time yesterday. I really didn't today. I thought about it a few times. I got a little tired there at one point. I thought about taking a nap, but I was like, oh, push through. Let's get this stuff going. Too many things to still get done. So, I forget how many there's are crossed on this thing. I don't think I wrote it down on my page either. Makes me want to look. I forget how many gets across. It was right around the 100 mark. Is it 100 or more? I don't remember. I don't remember. Oh, there we go. Okay, 106 across. So, I was like, I thought I counted it out at one point in time. I just didn't know if I wrote it down. 106 across by 96 down. I think was going to be how many rows? 96, yeah. Or 98. I don't remember. It is what it is. But hopefully, again, I know I'll get at least one more row done tonight. At least that's what I plan. I don't really have a whole lot else going on tonight, other than if I get other orders. I will take care of those first, but afterwards we do the cat thing. I'll do the kitchen thing. Normally about 10:30 is when I'm done with everything. We get done with the stream my time at 8:30. Takes me 2 hours to kind of do my whole nightly thing with the cats and kitchen and all that. And 10:30 I kind of can get back here. So hopefully I get 10:30, get me in at least another row before I get too tired and dumb. Hopefully we'll see how tonight goes. Like I said, felt dumb and stupid earlier. Give me a little something to eat though too. I should have ate before the stream tonight. I'm hearing dingy dings going on my computer. Or maybe that was in the music now. I'm starting to hear it again. Maybe it wasn't my computer. I don't know. My ears are hearing things. I was outside earlier today and could have swore I heard my phone beeping at me for a text message. I come in after hearing it, get over to the phone, look at it, and there's nothing there. And I'm like, I could have swore I just heard it. And it was about 20 minutes later, I was out there again, and I heard it. This time it was notification for the security camera. And I was like, well, I'm out here. It probably just got me, doing stuff. And when I came back in, there was no notification on the security camera either. I was like, and then I was like, oh, well, yeah, that one's facing the other way right now, because 2 of the cameras are on pivots so they can turn and I'll face them in different directions and this and that. So it was facing the other direction right then. But I'm definitely going to want to eat. I can feel the stomach's ready to get some food in her. good time to get the Marvel out, get her pill. She's normally the first one to deal with, get her medicine in her, and crush her up a pill, put it in her food. Luckily, she normally has no problem eating it. It's flavorless, so the biggest problem is just getting her to eat. Because that's why we knew she was going through these cycles. I think she's still going through a semi-cycle. So I don't know if her meds are quite right yet for her hyperthyroidism. Her cycles are definitely not as pronounced when she decides, because before there was a cycle where she would go through and not be eating and whatnot, and she's still kind of going through that same cycle, but it's definitely not as bad. And those are the harder days to make sure she gets her medicine in her. She ends up doing it, but I normally have to force her with no other food, and finally she'll be like, alright, I'll eat it. And what's crazy is even the other food she's barely eating whenever she gets into, it's like a 2-day period where she just doesn't eat a whole bunch. I have to kind of entice her a little bit, and then she'll go out of it. She'll get in this play mood for a few days, and then as long as she doesn't get into the mode of, whenever she sees me, she normally comes running, stands up, jumping, meowing at me, talking to me. When she's not feeling good, she barely will meow at me from afar. So I can always normally tell when she's definitely not feeling good. And she hadn't gotten to that point, so that's been a plus. That was part of the cycle too. There'd be 2 days where she just kind of meow at me and wouldn't get up, come running to me, and that's kind of dissipated. She does that pretty much any time anymore, other than if she's in a deep sleep. I've gone in the room where she didn't hear me come in, and I ended up freaking her out. She'll be like, oh, and jump up and start meowing at me, but alright, where are we at here? So we're at 56. Could count out some more, but I think we're going to go ahead and try to do a halfway stretch, I guess, maybe. Try to pull it, and normally I'd spend more time to try to spread it and stretch it better, but that's not too bad there. You're starting to be able to make out the nose for the most part there. Well, let's get over to the top cam so we can see it real quick better that way. Like I said, this is where we're going for, so we're right down here, just right below this nose area, getting into the mustache and lip area is going to be where, hopefully by next Thursday, I'll be mid-mouth. I would like to be a lot further than that. I know I could if this is all I had to do and I didn't have any other stuff to do, I would finish this up by next Thursday. Because there's really not a whole lot left into it. I guess at halfway point we probably got about 20 more hours or so to go, because this side's take me about 45 hours, so it's not a whole lot left. It's just getting the time to sit down and do it. So let's go ahead and get over to the ugly face cam. So again, I do want to thank everybody who joins us, who has joined us. I know we had a few people popping in and out tonight. I do thank you. Even if you don't post anything, it's always good to, at least people are seeing me and know that I'm streaming. That's all that matters, right? So don't forget to give the likes, thumbs up, even if you're watching it later. They still all help. Like I said, the more of those we get, the more walls we'll get onto with our followers. And check us out on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Follow us on all those. You'll get notifications that way. I don't get too many notifications on Facebook anymore for myself, but I do get them through the other places. So some people have problems with YouTube, so get those all out there. Tonight is Thursday, so we won't be back on until Monday night. I know it's a weekend that I'm not gonna. There are occasionally some Saturdays we might stream, but I know there's gonna be no streaming this weekend, so it'll be next Monday when we're back and working on something new. We'll see what happens. I got to figure it out this weekend. We'll figure out something. So otherwise, I hope you all have a great weekend. Nice weekend. Hopefully you get good weather and can have some fun. So otherwise, We'll see y'all next Monday. Peace.